Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to Antorus, the Burning Throne. The final raid of Legion opened on the North American servers, like a minute ago? Like an hour ago? Who knows? Like, not very long, and already people are playing through it. People are seeing the cinematics, which are there to surprise and delight you. They are filming them, they are putting them online, so you can go and watch them now and ruin all of the surprise and the delight. You can see the end of this story without having to set foot in the raid at all. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. There's no way I am waiting for the EU realms to open to see these things. I need to see them now. I want Terran Gregory goodness all over my face. You heard that right, Terran. All over my face. That's what we're going to have right now. So a quick note, this is not a reaction video. We don't do that on this channel. That's not our style. No, I've watched these videos already. This is more a dissection, an analysis of what actually is going on in them and an appreciation of them. So there won't be any like, oh, what's happening now? Oh my God, this is amazing. If you actually want that, go and watch a different video. And likewise, if you want to see these things like all the way through without some annoying guy in the corner talking about them, this is not the video for you either. Go and watch it on any of the sources which are online with it by now. Wowhead will have it, MMO Champion will have it. And there are two of these cinematics. One is just before the final battle against Argus, the World Soul. It's very, very short, that one. We're going to scoot through it to get to the main event, the final cinematic of the entire expansion, Antorus, the Burning Throne. Let's just watch this first one before we get started properly. So here is our guy Magni, the Diamond King, and the joy and wonder that is the Pantheon of the Titans. And we're going to stop it already because there's something I really want to point out here, which is the setup of the Pantheon of the Titans right here. Now, these are the Titans getting ready to appear on their thrones in the Pantheon of the Titans itself. We can see Aman'Thul in the center there, in the big throne, even though all the Titans are equal, but we won't talk too much about that. To his right is Eonar, the Lifebinder, who we also rescue throughout the raid. Not that I'd know, because I haven't set foot in it yet, but that's what I've read. To his left is Agramar, which is very interesting, because Agramar was who we battled in the fight just before this one. He had supposedly been corrupted. We defeat him. This is proof that we don't kill him, we simply cleanse him and allow him to get back to his good old self. Because here he is, all blue and shiny and good Titany. You can tell good Titans because they're kind of blue and shiny. That's a rule I've learned from this video. And even more interesting than that is the empty throne to Agramar's left, which is obviously that of the fallen Titan, Sargeras, left empty. Now, when we did our last video about the lore of Antorus, the Burning Throne, I referred to Agramar as Sargeras' right-hand man before Sargeras' fall, which some people in the comments got really angry about and were like, Taliesin, he wasn't his right-hand man, he was his partner, he was his lieutenant, they went and fought demons together, right-hand man is really demeaning. Well, screw you, Internet, because we can see from this cinematic that Agramar all along was quite literally Sargeras' right-hand man, because here he is, sitting on his right-hand side. That is not an accident. Suck me. Even more important than any of that is what's in the centre of the Pantheon here. Now you can see the greeny, bluey, shiny light with the star pattern, which hasn't yet formed into the body of a person. You can see all of the Titans have the star patterns which form their skeletons kind of in the centre there. Here we see an unformed one. It's like the star patterns all over the place. Hasn't been formed into a body yet. It's like a kind of random bit of DNA. This is Argus, the world soul of Argus. This is what it looks like behind the corrupted Agramar just before that last fight started. So what this means is when we defeat Agramar, we also rescue the world soul of Argus before it has been corrupted. We get it into the Pantheon, and here you can see the Titans are getting ready to try and birth the world soul of Argus. They're zapping all of their best power right into it. They're chuffed about this, clearly. And then, oh no, what should happen? But it turns all red and nasty because it is being corrupted as we speak by none other than Sargeras. And here we see Sargeras actually is this massive dust cloud, which we have seen pictures of before, which is surrounding the planet Azeroth, our planet, this red and green cloud, and he corrupts the world soul of Argus, who goes all red before turning blue at the last moment. If they'd been like 3 seconds quicker, they could have stopped Argus actually being corrupted. But no, now he's corrupted. He's Sargeras' tool. Let's move on to the main event, the final climactic cinematic of Legion. I've watched this, like I say, probably about 10 times, and I've got to say, it's an amazing cinematic. I absolutely love it, straight out the gate. There's so much to talk about. So let's get on with it. There's genuinely a few moments in this where I caught my breath the first time I watched it, and have caught my breath every time I've watched it since. So let's have a gander at the last cinematic of Legion. And it starts off much as you'd expect. The Titans are pretty pleased. You've done well. He's just giving thanks with the rest of the Titans to Illidan and Velen, and I'm sure we're in there somewhere, just at the back, just out of view. And he says, go home, guys. We're going to regain our strength. So, nothing out of the ordinary. Pats on the backs, blowjobs and strawberries for everyone. This is where it gets good.
We've done all we can.
Every choice, every sacrifice has led me to this moment. To face him once again.
You are not coming with us.
The hunter is nothing without the hunt.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, guys. Just as a what is happening thing here, Velen turns around and says, hey, Illidan, you coming with us? And he says, I have waited for this moment to face Sargeras. And then he says, obviously, the hunter is nothing without the hunt. Words that, of course, you will remember he has said before at the end of the Black Temple. He said them to Maiev then, saying, you are nothing without me. This is a slight table turning here. And he goes, I realize I am nothing without Sargeras. Because my entire existence for the last 10,000 years has been chasing this guy down and finding a way to bring him down. And now it's about to happen. Now, what's really interesting for me about this is in a lot of the data mining that's happened and a lot of the assumptions I went into this ending this cinematic with was that I had heard, and in fact we've reported on this channel, everyone seems to think that Illidan makes the ultimate sacrifice, and he now becomes the jailer of Sargeras and the rest of the Titans for all of eternity. He's like, someone's got to do it. I'll do it. This is my role. I've got to be the jailer. I've got to make sure none of this evil escapes the Pantheon, using the Titans' power to help me. This noble sacrifice. But that's not what's happening at all. This puts a completely different slant on it. What he's saying is, he's not going, oh, well, someone's got to look after them, so I'll do it. He's saying, I haven't had my chance of a crack at Sargeras yet. Like, all of this we've gone through, and it's all about to be over, but I haven't had a chance to actually fight this dude, and that's all I care about. It's not a sacrifice if you don't care about what you're giving up. And Illidan clearly doesn't at this stage. He's like, literally, my entire existence is based around the idea that I want to get Sargeras. He just wants a chance to fight Sargeras. Don't we all? I feel your pain, Illidan. I wouldn't, give up all of eternity to stick around on the Pantheon and do it. And you will, though. That's fair enough. Like, he's totally going for it. But this isn't the noble sacrifice that people have been talking about with relation to how this ends. He's not making a sacrifice. He's just like, no, mate, you go. I know I won't be able to get back, but honestly, it's worth it to have my proper crack at Sargeras. That's what he's saying. It's awesome. It's so badass.
Did you not see this fate, prophet?
Fate. Our survival was never in fate's hands.
And I love this bit. Okay, this is where the cinematic starts getting really special. Because Illidan, as you just heard, says, did you not foresee this fate, prophet? And Velen says, our survival was never in fate's hand. Velen talks so much about faith and prophecy, and fantasy in general does. This is one of my little sticklers with fantasy, is that there's so much based around the idea of chosen ones and fate. And Illidan, in those cinematics on Argus, was totally against that. He was like, there can be no chosen one. Our survival is on us. It's our own. And here we see Velen agreeing with him. He's saying, you know what? Yeah, we rescued the Titans. We defeated the new world soul of Argus. We did this. Everything that's just happened, we did it. It wasn't foretold. It wasn't our destiny. It wasn't our fate. We just did it because we're awesome. And there he is kind of acknowledging that what Illidan said before was right. And Illidan rewards Velen with a shit-eating grin, as you can see. And he's like, yeah, Velen gets it. And these two characters have a proper moment here after everything they've been through. And this is like the moment where finally they make a connection and they understand each other. Fantastic. And then, of course, Illidan takes his place, waiting for Sargeras. And a respect there from Velen. They go back to the Vindicar, and oh dudes, this is where it starts getting really good. The Titans get their strength back, the music swells. This is just awesome. There's no two ways about it, this is just freaking awesome. Okay, so the beam shoots off to Azeroth. Your crusade is over, brother. And this is like, you know, it's bombastic, it's silly, it's big, it's loud, but if you've been playing this game and if you've been immersed in the lore of this game for as long as I have, and I haven't been here from the beginning, if you've been following this right from the very beginning, this is like, even if it wasn't done well, which it is, it's done really well, but even if it wasn't, this is such like a big, mind-blowing moment. Your crusade is over. This thing, which until Chronicle came out last year, was the main evil in the World of Warcraft universe. That underpinned everything. Sargeras, this mythical figure who waged the Burning Crusade. And it's over. And this is exciting because you know what's going to happen next. Of Sargeras, the Grand Commander of the Burning Legion. I know it, you know it. There is so much to talk about here, but I'm going to let it play on. Okay, so here is our first glimpse of Sargeras crying in agony and frustration and pain and anger. He looks back at his brothers. And by the way, while this huge planet-sized demon lord is revealed in the fog, can we just take a moment, please, to notice how completely unfazed Velen and Magni and Khadgar are? They don't give no shit. They're like, boom. What, Sargeras, the Demon Lord, straddling our planet like he's dry humping it? Nothing, mate. It's nothing. It's just a Saturday night for us down Azeroth. They don't care. Look, they're completely chill about it. But anyway, here we see Sargeras. And thank you, Blizz. Thank you for making him like the classic drawings of him. And this is the same for the Titans as well. They purposely used those images, which they then used in Chronicle as well, and they've based the models of these guys on those images, and it's perfect, and it's beautiful, and it's everything you could possibly want, and it's amazing. And this idea that Sargeras is so close, he's so close to destroying Azeroth, all he's ever wanted to do since he knew of its existence. And just at the last moment, Argus has been defeated, and the Pantheon are dragging him back home against his will. And the frustration and his cry of just anguish. And then, of course, like we all knew was going to happen, the sword appears. Oh my god. And he just rams it into the planet. This is so cool. Now, if that's not enough to cause a second cataclysm, I don't know what is, frankly. But then he gets sucked back. He takes one last swipe at the Vindicar as he goes. And he appears back in the Pantheon. And now Illidan has got what he wants. Okay, so like what I was saying earlier, this is not a noble sacrifice for Illidan. He's not all like, oh, well, I will stay forever and I will look after the Pantheon. No! All he wants, all he cares about is having this crack at Sargeras. And now he's got it for the rest of eternity. His glaives are out. You hear the shing sounds as he takes them out. He's basically going to torture this guy for the rest of eternity. That's what he's going to do. He doesn't want to look after them. He's not going to be his jailer. He's going to be his tormentor and his torturer. It's nasty and I like it. And that is Illidan's motivation right there. For everything he's done for the last 10,000 years, all he's really wanted is this crack at Sargeras. And now he's got it. And he looks pretty happy about it. And this is my second favourite moment of the entire cinematic. Okay, like I say, I've watched this a number of times, and there are moments that make me catch my breath. That moment where Sargeras is revealed, even now, like 11th or 12th time, I catch my breath watching it. And this moment where Velen just breathes out. Because I've been playing this game for years and years and years. I make my living off of this game. I am so caught up in the lore and the story of this game. And like I say, until Chronicle last year, this was the ultimate big bad. This was everything. Sargeras and the Burning Legion were the ultimate threat facing our entire world. And Velen is just me there. That's me. When all that happened, that amazing shot of Sargeras dragged back to the Pantheon, he's there, Illidan's got him now. That's me. I just want to breathe out and be like, wow, that's over. I feel you, Velen. I feel your pain, mate. I really do. And then, of course, you get this beautiful shot, like we all know is coming, in fairness. Of Sargeras' sword in the middle of Silithus. And this is a shot and a half. What an ending. What a beautiful finish to what has been, I think, and I haven't actually played the raid yet, but it looks pretty cool. What I think has been an absolutely classic expansion. I think Legion has been brilliant. I think the story and the lore in Legion has been unparalleled, and this is a fitting end to it. And if you go to Silithus, we will see that sword sticking out of the ground at that jaunty angle like a playful hat. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Taliesin, last time we saw that sword, Sargeras was sticking it into the world. And I'm not being funny, but it clearly, that sword, is much bigger than that. It clearly rams down into the planet, and if you look at the handle and the blade, in fact, it's clearly in the atmosphere of the planet. It's hundreds, thousands of miles above the atmosphere of Azeroth there. It's a lot bigger than it is there when we see it just like, you know, barely dominating a small zone in Vanilla WoW. And you are technically right, but I'm not going to think about that now because I'm sure there's an incredibly good explanation for it, which we will get into some other time. But how is that for a finishing image? How is that for an ending cinematic? How is that for the end of the Burning Legion? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Sorry I rambled a little bit in this video, guys, but it's just incredibly exciting to me. If you enjoyed the video, don't thank us, thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make these videos happen. It's them that allows me to sit here and just fanboy out and just geek out and just be this total, like, exploding orgasmic lore nerd. It's because of you guys. Thank you very much. If you did enjoy it, downvote the shit out of it. And remember, my name is Chinglish. No, my name is Taliesin from me and Evitel. Until next time, the Weekly Reset. Cheerio.